So, how has your relationship with Scripture changed over your life? Can you read it without being embarrassed?
That's another really good question. You know, I grew up in the most fundamentalist of fundamentalist Christian settings. So I grew up in a context where literal six-day creation, everything was accepted right down the line. I mean, we believed in the literal six-day creation. Literally, women should keep literally silent in church. Gay people, you know, there's no place for gay folks. Shoot, we even had a biblical rationale why rock and roll was of the devil. So I've been through a lot of changes, obviously, in my relationship with the Bible. You know, and the question about it, if you were to say, well, how has it changed? You know, I described in one of my books like this, that I was taught to read the Bible like a constitution, that it was a kind of divinely inspired constitution, and that it was supposed to do for the church what a constitution does for a country. And even that's kind of an interesting analogy when you think back to it, because why do we have constitutions? Well, because we needed something to replace having a king. And there's something very parallel between Protestants and Catholics. The Bible became the Constitution to replace the divine right of popes. So there's fascinating ways that analogy works. But it's really not a constitution. And if it were one, it's terrible. It really doesn't do the job very well. But what I think it is, and it really succeeds at, is it's a library that preserves key arguments. If you think about a medical library, or a law library, or an art library, or whatever, or even like a rock and roll, Hall of Fame kind of a place, that part of the purpose of a library is not to go through and say, oh, we now know what are the right opinions, so let's burn all the books that have the wrong opinions. You actually want to save all those books. This is the place where you save them, because in some ways, this is the place you want to be able to go and trace the history of the development of opinions over time. And I think the Bible does a fantastic job of that, helping us see arguments that are kept alive because we have those texts. And one of the problems, I think, that the Christian faith hasn't worked out yet, I mean, I think we've got people who've got the feel for it, but we haven't articulated it very clearly yet, is the idea that revelation can come better in the middle of an argument than through a constitution. Because the tensions of an argument, especially if you have a statement and a counter-statement and a resolution and then another counter-statement and another resolution, you see that going on over time. You start to see a kind of direction that the argument goes over time. And that is more valuable, I think, than timeless truths.